welcome to Gen Sense, where I, Jen, try to make sense of the shenanigans around me. Sometimes I'm joined by a guest, but most times it's just me trying to make sense of this very wild world. Yeah, so let's have a good time, guys. It's gonna be worth it. Thank you. Hello, today's shenanigans, belly timbers and bub, specifically boba tea and tea in general. I knew about boba tea before it hit America fully, in the last few years, maybe 4. I was having boba tea thanks to one of my Marine friends back in 2012 or so, and when I was in Japan, and it was weird and different, and I liked it, but I never really thought about it again until I saw a boba tea shop when I came back to America after I got out the Marine Corps and all that stuff, and I was just like, wow, I really could use some of this. So I take my sister and we go and we get the tea, and it was wonderful. But yeah, I don't know when it became popular or how it became popular. I know there's some YouTubers that talk about it all the time, but for me it was just there. It was like, oh, there's tea and there's things in tea. I guess we got to talk about what boba tea is. Boba tea is tea that has tapioca pearls, which are chewy if done right, inside of it, and you sip it through this giant straw, and then you chew on the little pearls, ball things, and it's different. It's not bad. It's different, and a lot of people are thrown off because they're not ready for the balls. There's also different types of balls. You can get popping pearls. They like to call them pearls because balls sounds weird, but you can get popping pearls. You can get I don't really drink the other types of pearls, but there are others, different flavors and everything. So yeah, I think boba tea is amazing. I cannot have milk though, so my enjoyment of boba, not bubble. I mean, I guess you could call it bubble tea, but I don't know what that actually entails. But I can't have it because I can't have milk, which is very unfortunate because I still try and I regret it almost every time. So there's that. Also, macarons. We're gonna call it macarons. Those little French cookie things with the almond flour. Why are they so expensive? And why did they choose to pair those with boba tea? I love me a good macaron. I love them. I think they're great, but they're so expensive. The one place I go to all the time, you can buy 6 of them for $15, and I'm like, bro, why? But I also watched somebody make them on YouTube, and I understand why they're $15 for 6. Because it's a lot of effort and work, and you have to whip things, and I'm not a baker. Sarah bakes. That's my sister. She's trifling though. I'm kidding. She's gonna listen to this. She bakes, but she's only made them one time, and I can see why she did that. Speaking of my sister, she is addicted to tea. So I guess that's on me. She would rather drink tea than eat, which I think is insane. But, everybody has their vices, and hers just happens to be Thai tea and boba tea. But, she doesn't even have the boba, so, it's just tea. She buys very expensive tea, every day if she can. And I'm just I can make it at home. But, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, but it is good. I don't know if it's, every day good. It's more I need to have this every once in a while. Maybe you guys can hear Gracie in the background. She is having a moment. But we'll just make it work. Also, tea in general, not just boba tea, but I've had tea from a very young age. I started drinking tea way before I should because my grandma drank tea, and things that you don't know until you do it is that you cannot have lemon milk tea, which makes sense. But when I was a child, I was like, ooh, I like lemon tea, and ooh, I like adding milk to my tea. So why not put them together? And then it made this crazy like cottage cheese clumping thing, and I was like, what just happened to my tea? And turns out, like, you know, milk and lemon don't get along, and I didn't know that. So I learned very fast not to do that, and it still makes me very sad because that was like a banging cup of tea, and that was like when I was 6, so you know, and I'm 30 now, so you know, I just kind of keep that in mind when I'm making tea and or eating things that should not be mixed together, and then cry about it later because my stomach is protesting. But I knew better, you know, like you can't have a milkshake and drink lemonade at the same time. Why would you do that? Especially when you don't have an orange stomach. But who did it? Me. The workers were like, are you sure you want to do that? You just ate ice cream, and you know, the lemon from this all natural lemonade will definitely mess you up. And I was like, yeah, but they were speaking Spanish, and I was like, it'll be fine, I'll wait. So I still bought my lemonade, and I regretted my life later. Speaking of tea, not lemonade, that's another day. There are so many different types of tea. Right now my favorite is Earl Grey, and you can make a London fog, which is like Earl Grey tea and milk, I guess. I don't know. I just kind of recently found that one out. I was a very plain Jane tea drinker, just black tea. But apparently there's green tea, there's matcha. I didn't know about apple. Apple tea is fantastic. Strawberry tea is wonderful. Blackcurrant tea is chef's kiss. I do not like not blackberries. I'm sure there's blackberry tea. I do not like blueberries. So blueberry tea does not sound good to me, but people are like, oh, it's so good. And there's Gracie trying to come in. No, you can't come in, I'm recording. You gotta come in later. You can guest later. Be a guest star later when you're being nicer. Well, I'm going to wrap this up very shortly. Yeah. So yeah, there's different types of tea. I love it. It's great. Boba tea is amazing. The balls will put you off when you first have it, or pearls, because that sounds better. I would say to think of it like the Lion King when Simba eats the bug and Timon's like, it's slimy yet satisfying, and you're just like, okay. And if they're done right, then you just kind of like bite them and then you swallow them. It's worth it. I would definitely give it a shot if you can find a boba tea place near you, and yeah, enjoy that because it is good. Also, yeah. Boba tea, so good, so popular. It wasn't even a thing when I came back. I literally had to search for it, and I wasn't even crazy about it until recently, mostly because my sister drags me, and I'm like, well, let me try this one. So, thanks, guys. Have a great day. That was Belly Timbers and Bub. Yeah, maybe you guys can figure out what I'm talking about. Woo! Also, would you try boba tea? Or do you like tea? Or do you prefer coffee? How do you take your tea? Let me know. Just let me know. Let me know what's going on with your life. All right, bye, guys. Thank you for joining me on Jen Sense. I hope you had a wonderful time while I, Jen, went over those shenanigans. I hope you have a wonderful time, and remember to always be kind.